Hey everyone, it's Alicia too, and I'd like to welcome you all to interview round 8 with Seb from Palaye Royale. Hello!
Hey, darling. It's
How have
crazy.
you been?
I've been good. It's so funny. I was like, they're like, oh, you have an interview. I'm like, we've had two buses break down on this tour already. And I haven't slept on our tour bus. Like you met us when we were in our mom's car. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like being in a bus and not actually being in it is the weirdest thing. We've been flying and taking U-Hauls and making the shows happen. And like last night we played in San Antonio and we drove to Austin at like 4:30 in the morning, got in at 6:30 and then had acoustic at 8:30 and then got in Uber and drove 3 hours to Texas to Dallas. It's just been like a nightmare, but whatever.
Hot damn. No, it's following along and kind of seeing your updates, and you were updating the fans. You like luckily made it in time, which I was shocked about because most
Yeah,
bands would have simply have just called it a night, went to their hotels, on to the next. But
exactly.
you guys just always had that hustle and passion, so nothing stops you. I love seeing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's like it's only because the fans are the only reason why we're actually doing what we're doing. So it's like from day one, it's always been us with the fans. And like we've built this incredible family and it's like we can't let them down. They don't let us down. And we just, continue to grow. So
Well, I'm glad that you brought up the whole breakdown part there because I know that was a wild experience. And I want to bring up another kind of wild thing for you guys lately because you recently looked like you had the most incredible time in Europe, sold out shows, adventures, just thousands of fans over there. And then I also
yeah.
know how much you must have just missed touring North America. So, what do you think now that you're back at it, back in that groove, was the one thing that you missed the most about these treks with your bros?
It's funny. Europe is now like feels more like a home than the States do.
Yeah.
And I think it's like we finished the tour right before the pandemic on the Bastards tour, and we were in Warsaw was the last show, and we showed up in Prague, world shut down, we flew home. And then when we started back up, we did a support tour with Youngblood in the States, and then did Europe and the UK. And we're like, all right, cool. These rooms are like big. And then we showed up and we're like, oh shit, these are actually like 3,000-4,000 cap rooms. Like, and we're
Yes.
like, wow. And then now our headliner for next year for the European tour is like we're doing like 7 to 10,000 people in like Warsaw and Prague.
Holy shit.
It's unreal. It's just like they've gravitated to us and taken such a kind liking. Like the fans over here have been so kind, but it's grown one by one. Over there, it's grown in the thousands quickly. So, but
Amazing.
but those shows are so big, but they feel so intimate because everyone is like so thankful we're there and we're so happy to be on massive stages by ourselves. So
I
yeah,
love to see it. It's
yeah,
bizarre to think of like seeing you guys playing those smaller venues. Now everywhere you go, it's practically sold out. It's thousands of people.
yeah.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's funny they're doing the American tour. It's like I think because America right now, there's every band in existence, every touring act is finally touring again, and
Yep.
everyone's touring in these 3 months. So it's like you have this window of like My Chemical Romance, Panic! At the Disco, 1975, so many massive bands that we have like close fans with, and it's like one after another every night. So it's like
Yeah.
fans are having to pick and choose what shows to go to, and it's like money is an issue and it's a hard pick. So it's like over here, it's like it's just weird. It's everyone in Europe is like, oh, the tickets are selling so bad. And we put up our tickets like the first week and we sold like almost 100,000 tickets in a week. And I'm like, what? And in America, it's like, oh, we're still pushing tickets, but it's,
Right. Man, that's incredible. And of course, we
yeah,
have to dive into some of the music because new tunes are now out in the world, including Fever Dream. It's frantic, it's melodic, it's poetic. And for me, especially since seeing you guys last, like I've been going down this road of just insane spirituality lately, almost like we experience now. And that's great, but there's so much out there to explore in the next lifetime of ours. So it sounds wild to a lot of people I know, but that's
yeah.
exactly what that song reminded me of. So I would love to know your take on the lyrics and kind of how that came about and if I'm just like super far off.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right on the nose. It's one of those things. When we started the band, we had our EP and we went crazy with strings and all the gospel singers and stuff. And then reality hit. No one knows the band, so you have to learn and like you go touring, you plug, you throw the stuff on stage and you play. So you really can't do the grandiose things. But now that we've had the luxury of building the show, having like dramatic moments with lights and cold sparks and fire, like you can make a show. So the song is a perfect fitting for where we are in our time as the height of the band. But
Yeah.
lyrically and visually, I think it's taken the best parts of Palaye Royale and actually it's all three of us embodied it into a song. And we, touch on all the old, like there's probably 6 or 7 lyrics from old songs that are in that song. So
I
it's like
caught a couple.
That's
That's
really cool.
awesome.
We took a little one from each album, and the fans really picked up on it. And it's definitely our most epic track that's out so far. Like there's 4 tracks on the scale of Fever Dream, like 5 minute insane, like opus tracks. And it's exciting. Like we finally can like have the time, and we don't have to rush the shows anymore. We can take our time,
Right.
like enjoy the time on stage, because when you have a 30-minute time opening for someone, or even 20 minutes, you don't have that luxury, and you're playing for people that just want to, you play the quickest song that they can like remember, and then hopefully they become a fan. So it's all perfect timing now.
No, absolutely. It's cool seeing those little Easter eggs too, and how much you pay attention to knowing like what the fans exactly want, because it's always right
Yeah.
on the nose. But when it
Yeah.
does come to that single, it is taken from the forthcoming record of the same name. And of course, we were talking simply about how much you guys work, how hard you work, and you're waking up now and just literally living this intense but super wonderful fever dream. Like it has its ups, it has its downs, of course. So, what do you feel other than music is kind of currently your number one coping mechanism when you're stressed or in that fever dream moment? Because all of you are so artistic and creative in
Yeah.
different ways.
I've been engaged for a second. I think like having someone that's like kind of my rock has been really nice, and the bond with my brothers has been incredible. Like me and Remus Emerson have had so much anger towards one another at the earlier stages, because we were in the smallest car, and like there was no luxury, there was no comfort, and you just had to get to the next show and do it. And now it's like we have this new respect for one another, and we like can all reel each other in. And it's like last night when we went to Austin, our tour manager booked us 3 hotel rooms like for the radio station, and we got there, and it was like even before we had like this weird encounter with the lady at the front desk, but it was like I was like, I just want to stay in the same room as you guys, like I miss you guys. It's a weird thing. It's like even the Beatles, I remember when they were like, I was watching the documentary, like even at the height of their career, they're like they still shared hotel rooms, because they're like that was the only place of their safe place. And
The
you don't feel,
camaraderie.
yeah, it's like you're surrounded by so many people that love you, but you still feel alone like out there. And it's like you're doing everything for everyone else, and you forget about yourself, and you have to
Yeah.
remember that. So I don't know, I've just been like trying to like enjoy every moment, even if it's bad, and try to find and just laugh at the things, and
Yeah.
that's it. And like take in as much as I can. And sometimes you want to shut your brain off and party a little bit, and like, close the door a little bit of your mind,
Live it
but
up.
the little bit of the responsibility out the door. But it's so funny. It's like that's always, we care so much. If someone asked us in VIP say like how do you guys like switch your like personal lives and this? I'm like, the Palaye Royale world is our world, and like we exist, everyone exists in our world, and we exist in their
Exactly.
world, and it's a compromise back and forth. And like I like I'm really thankful, like even for my fiance, like she has to invest her time and energy into my life. And it's like I see how much that is to her, and like what it means to me, because it's sometimes you can't give so much to your friends and family, and like they have to know that they're almost kind of like chasing around the world, you know what I mean, because you have a due diligence in a work schedule to apply to with a bunch of
Of
people that do care.
course.
So I'm like trying to just know, I know I've always known how lucky and fortunate we've been. And but now even more so, like this shit can be, it was so hard to get to where we are today. And like you're one person that's seen it from literally the beginning, and we just don't stop, and we're not going to stop. And I was with my friend last night, and he was just like saying, he's like, you guys are on the trajectory of not like a fad of like it's cool for like a moment. You guys are
Yeah.
building fans that it's like lifetime fans, and they're going to be, you guys aren't going to stop, because you guys actually love the creative process. And that's at the end of the day, creating to us, we're already writing the next record, writing the next graphic novel, and making new events for our fans, that it's not this boring, like the shows are fun, don't get me wrong, but
Of
it's the same
course.
that happened for almost 100 years. It's like, here's a concert, go to the show, watch the show. I want people to live in this world we create, not that's just like on paper or on audio or visual, like an actual immersive experience. So we're like slowly but surely getting to that point in our career. So
It's been so much fun seeing you kind of bring people into that void of yours in that world, whether it's giving them flowers at the shows or having the merch that's so specific to you guys. Like you're machines in that sense. And I've always admired the creativity there so
yeah,
much. you know that from the jump, like seeing how hard you work and just the effort that goes into everything. Like we've always been on that same frequency. So I guess the last thing I want to ask just for this whole process today, and since it's been 6 years really since that first interview and we were babies, you know, so when you think back to that and now, what do you think would kind of be the biggest change for you, whether personally, about the band, it can be anything?
I think when we've always had, like, is that people will say we have to stick up our asses that we want to do everything ourselves. That hasn't changed, but I think we've understood that if you want anything done in life, no one's going to do it, because no one's going to care as much as you do about your own career, about what you want changed in this world, what you want, an opinion out there, what you want, anything. It's on you to do that. And then you find people that support that and be around you. And it's just finding and appreciating those people that are there, because we are difficult to work with, and we know that, but we're only difficult to work with because we know what we want. And a lot of people don't know, especially music businesses, don't know what they want, and people have to tell them, this is your career, this is your layout, this is what you're doing.
Very true.
And so when people tell, you know, we've done a lot of things this year specifically that I absolutely did not want to do, and we've done it because people kind of like had the gun to your head saying, if you don't do this, there's going to be a problem. And I'm now like going to just be like, absolutely not. If I don't feel it in my heart, my instinct is so good with our band and our fans, and we just need to follow that gut instinct. So I think that's more than anything, is like, it's okay to piss some people off, because not everyone's going to like you, you know?
Hell yeah. No, it's perfectly put. It's so nice to see just how much has changed and grown since then. It's just those little things that you can pick up on as we also grow up, you know, like we were also so young when we started. I know. It's crazy.
I know.
Genuinely just so happy to see where things have gone for you guys, you know, from the jump. Like I love you all. You're crushing it. So thank you so much for hopping on for round 8, officially record breaking, and everybody watching. This has been Sebastian. It's insane.
I hope to see you in New York.
Fingers crossed. You know, I'll hit you up. I'll throw you a text if I can make it, because a reunion is bound. But to everyone watching right now, this has been Seb from Palaye Royale. Be sure to check out aliciatout.com for plenty of our other exclusive interviews and features. And we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.